of the country. That's why I came so many times. But also, especially to this place here, was for health reasons. I had some health issues, and in Belgium, as you know, maybe it's a very cold and rainy country, and I had many problems. So that was for me one of the reasons to come to live here, because it gives me better health and better living conditions. Although I'm still working here, so it's for me the main reason. Very good place to live, very nice place to live, and very good climate we have.
So what was your job back home? Were you working?
I was working. I worked all my life in tourism. I was working in different fields of tourism as well, abroad in other countries. I worked 10 years in south of France. I worked as a tour leader, as assistant manager in a hotel, so I have lots of experience in tourism.
So at first, when you came here in the beginning, did you find any difficulties about finding a place to live, or?
The beginning was not so easy, because you have to adapt to a different culture. Even though I did live already in other countries than mine, it's still a big adaptation to come here. You have to change your style of living. If you cannot change your style of living, if you want to live European way, you will not succeed. You have to change your way of thinking.
To be a bit Oriental?
Yes, and I've always been a little bit Oriental. That's why for me it's easy. I can pass like an Egyptian here.
Yeah, you can actually. She looks a little bit Egyptian, right?
Yeah, so that is, my father looked like an Egyptian, so maybe that's why.
So what about your work here?
My work here, well, unfortunately for the moment, no work, no tourism. I work for a big travel company. I don't know if I can mention the name.
No, you can't.
But I work for a big company as well for the UK as for Belgium and Holland. It was a very good work until all the problems began, the revolution, what came after, and we've seen a very big decline of tourism since then.
But from your point of view, do you think that it is safe here in Luxor for foreigners to come and visit?
I must say that I have the feeling that now, at this time, it's even more safe than it was in the time after the revolution. It's more safe now. So I think for tourists, yes. Of course, you have to also adapt a little bit. You're in a different country, so you behave a little bit different. So, but yes, this is a very safe place to live. And here, as I said, I lived in the south of France. In the evening, you could not go out alone there.
Oh, really?
Yes, here you can. So that's for me, it's safer than it is there.
It's a very good point Linda is saying now, because you see, in Egypt in general, you can walk in the street as a woman at any time of the day.
Yes, that is, but you have, of course, you have to behave your clothes, things. It's just respect towards another culture also. If you do respect, you get respect back. That is very important. And I think, yes, you can walk here easily alone. For me, no problem at all.
So what about your favorite places in Luxor? Which places are your favorite?
The Nile. That is without any doubt, that is the Nile. I've seen the Nile almost every day, but still it's something that is for me amazing. It's life, it's meaning of Egypt. Egypt without the Nile, there is no Egypt. So that's my favorite place.
You know that the Greek historian said that Egypt was a gift of the Nile, and the Nile is also called the eternal river. Did you know that?
It's really what I find so amazing. And you can go and sit next to the Nile, and it always have a different color, different atmosphere. So my favorite places is near to the Nile. For example, at the rowing club, it's a beautiful place to sit. It's a pity that not so much people know about it, but it's amazing. And the sunsets you have there is really great.
So you can go to the rowing club and sit down and have something to drink?
Yes, the rowing club is a very nice place. You have different levels, down and up, full sun, or you can go in the down level. It's really a nice place, even with children. It's a beautiful place to sit there next to the Nile. So it's one of my favorite places.
What about the monumental places?
Monumental places, of course, I visit a lot. As a tour leader, it's normal for me to know the places well. And I like also to show that to my guests and to show them other places than those who are so well known.
Exactly.
So, for example, I try to make them go to places like the Tomb of I, which is less well known, and that is one of the things I try to make them go also to those places. But from those that are well known, my absolute favorite will always stay Karnak Temple.
Right, the Tomb of I in Valley of the Monkeys.
Yes. Valley of the Monkeys, that is one of the things. And I managed to with my company, that we make a special trip to there, and also to Carter's house.
Linda is talking about the king who had ruled Egypt right after the death of King Tutankhamun, who was a high priest called I, and he was quite old when he ruled, so he died after a few years, and he was buried in a valley, the Valley of the Monkeys, in the west bank of Luxor. So, what about your clients? How do you intend to get them back?
Well, the first thing that we need to achieve now, and I hope we will succeed, that is to lift the travel ban that there is. First of all from the UK, because that is what all people watching. If the UK lift the travel ban, the other countries will follow. And that's the most important thing now.
So the ban was lifted in Hurghada in Egypt, and we hope that it will be lifted very soon from Luxor, Aswan, and the rest of the touristic cities in Egypt.
Yes, that is really the main thing for us. Even if they make it just instead of red orange, it would already mean that people can come back to Luxor. There is people who come here, people who are used to come, they know it's safe and it's okay. But it's those who don't know the country yet who get afraid from this travel ban. So that is the first need to make tourists come back.
Exactly. So the travel ban is effective only for people who need to have travel insurance. But if someone don't really need to get that travel insurance from his country, he can still come to Egypt anyway.
Yes, so that's a fact. And there are so many beautiful things to see and to do here. Also not only the big monuments, but also other places that he can visit. So yes, I would say to everybody, please come. It's beautiful. You can go on a cruise ship, you can go on another way, on a dahabeeyah, on the Nile, which is a beautiful way to discover other places, to discover Luxor, but also like Jebel Silsila and places like that.
So what Linda is saying here is that you can make a small cruise on the Nile using a small luxurious boat. We call it here dahabeeyah, or the golden boat. And with that small cruising boat, you can visit other places starting from Luxor, going north or south, and coming back to Luxor.
Yes.
So if you have a final message to give back to your friends back home, what will you say?
Well, I would tell them really it's worth to come here, it's worth to come and even stay longer time here, because this is a very good climate. Nowhere else you will get this at this time of the year. In the winter also is beautiful. And I would say don't be afraid of all what they say in European and other media, but just come see by yourself and ask to people who live here, and they will be able to tell you this is a safe place, this is a good place to come on a holiday, to come to live here.
That's a great message. Thank you very much, Linda, and hope really to see you again in Luxor one day.
Okay, thank you very much, Dina. Thank you.
You're welcome.